they came back, they created the evacuation map of their schools, which was not present, basically. So I see that as a social change. One example. And usually each project had something like a tangible result that I could say, we have taught them this, we have contributed this, and independently, without even prompting them, they have produced this. For some of the online partnership projects, we have had also physical reciprocal exchanges. And usually in the Caucasus, when we say exchange programs, we understand only the host country nationals traveling to the other country. But these have been, usually we have tried to make it reciprocal, because it's really about cross-cultural understanding. When it's only the one side that's not really fair and doesn't really generate the desirable level of understanding. This was an exchange, civics exchange, between Armenian, Azerbaijani, and the US students. That was our first experience of using online tools, and I'm not saying social media, online tools for approaching conflict resolution. Has been a very challenging approach, both during offline meetings as well as online meetings. So after that, we've given a pause going through the lessons learned until we came to the .com program idea. So the American students visited Armenia. They went to the schools, and they were, you can see that was a very diverse group. And they were talking about cross-cultural differences. That was sexism, racism, Armenia, Azerbaijan, it was everything. So very interesting. It was, this is a very, very interesting result of one program that was mainly online. Like this, the Armenian and the American students and the teachers have not seen one another, have not met one another. But they have been discussing history, culture, etc. And on Armenian Independence Day, the American students with their teacher presented this cake, made a photo and shared it online. And the Armenian teachers, the Armenian students together with their lead teacher, they have been working on making a peace garden in their backyard. And they have been, actually, on each stage, they made a photo, they said, okay, like this is the construction process, these are the materials whereby do you have any recommendations, etc., etc. So this has been a very interesting communication, unusual.
And can I just interrupt and say that that was probably 4 or 5 years ago?
Yeah.
And it's still going on. That collaboration and maintenance of the garden and all of that is still going on in the schools.
It's like we have transferred the project to the Ministry of Armenia, but independently the active schools continue to collaborate and partner with schools in Armenia in different regions, with schools in anywhere.
I have a brief question in regards to the previous slide. You said American students visited Armenia. Did those same students visit Azerbaijan as well? Or was, you said it was exchange, so who visited who besides Americans coming to Armenia?
I think they did. I think they did. I remember that we have been discussing actually a lot the physical part of it. I think they did. It seems like it's very different. Like we have been 40 people worked on this project. And I'm the only one right now that has the institutional memory on this program, so it's kind of very difficult to remember each detail. The civic education booklet from the Armenia, Azerbaijan, and American group. This is what has been produced. This is one of the many resources that have been produced actually after the program. The students thought that they want to create their own civic education booklet, to work together, to have their own program, etc. So I find it a very good exercise for refining your language skills, for your thinking processes, and also teamwork skills. Talking Kites all over the world program. Online, they have been saying, okay, we are doing this school is planning this, etc. But you would see, like, for example, this kite is from Belarus. And this is the online place that they would store their photos. At that time, not many schools actually had digital cameras. So the digital camera was cherished like in a safe or something. So they learned how to make photos, to upload and download things, etc. So that at that time, these were the first steps that I would see later people going online and doing social media real stuff. So that's Belarus, that's Armenia, and you would see some small text. When you just do not know the places of the keys, and you have your first paragraph in a very rural school, that's an accomplishment. Social change. I want to talk about that because we have been talking about social media for social change. This is not social media, but this is technology connected with change. Usually we have been doing online projects for Global Youth Service Day, which is in April and upcoming soon. The schools all Armenia would just be talking to one another saying, I want to do this event. What are you doing? And one say we are doing church cleaning, the other would say we are going to the elderly house to perform for them. We want a concert for our parents, etc. So things were happening. After discussions, things were, like decisions were made, and youth were actually doing community service. So that's one picture how they would go to the elderly house and give their contribution. That's tree planting. This is cleaning their computer center, and the guys also would be with the girls doing the cleaning, which is not usually happening in Armenia on volunteer basis. Again, tree planting in different schools, in different regions.
And was this one volunteer or forced?
What?
Was this one volunteer or forced?
I think, well, you never know, but usually I'm talking that the positive energy that I
Is
see.
it growing or is it becoming?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes people will drop from the online project and say, like, this is too difficult for me. I don't want to be here, and I'm not participating in the offline activities also. So I shouldn't be pretending and saying everything was successful. No, there have been people, and there have been people actually that were they had very low academic performance, but suddenly in the online project and after the online project, they were like so motivated, like during the informatics classes, or they were really helping the offline components. Like this is again cleaning. A very important, something very important. Like we call these internet computer centers. Some of the schools started calling them internet community centers, and we had community hours that like many people from the community would come and say, I have a relative somewhere. Can you actually connect me to that person? The first several times, the students would serve and help them, like call up, like write an email and then read for them, etc. But then people started to actually do themselves. So that's change. This is from Goris. We have an army base there, and like the soldiers would come and actually write emails to their relatives. That's a very I haven't seen this happening like in many places. This is a very rare case, but since this happened, I kind of like really wanted to show that this kind of stuff also happened. And one of the most important and interesting things has been that when we were planning, like our plan was to engage students from the 6th or 7th grade. But then the school said, let's do it from earlier grades also. Because kind of the friendship should start. We shouldn't really be engaging them intensively, but they need to kind of become friends with technology from earlier age. So I thought that it would be neat just to